My name is Celeste. I'm a human resources leader at Eileen, and I'm a breast cancer survivor. I remember when I found out, my sister was with me, and thank goodness, and you go through all this emotion, and it was a lot of emotion. When I told my son, Julian, and talking to kids about it, who's 16, he was 15, it was, again, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And his dad and I sat him down and told him, and his response was nothing I would have ever imagined.
But, at that moment, I knew that you were gonna get through it, and I had confidence.
And I guess I was like so confused. I'm like, Jules, how did you, how do you know this? And he said his health teacher had gone through it the year before, and she told them everything. He had context. He had someone he saw fight this fight and survive it, and so he didn't have fear.
If you remember, you and I had our mammograms at the same exact time,
right? And
they both came out back fine. And you were saying, yeah, but I have this lump. And when you actually said the word, I have breast cancer, I don't think I said anything to you. I think I just kind of froze. And it was just one of those things that you never think it's gonna happen. And I certainly never thought it would happen to you.
I'll never forget, because I was on my way to the movies. I'm driving, I'm coming across the Manhattan Bridge on the east side. And we talked for a little bit, and then you shared the news. It was just overwhelming. It was the last thing I was expecting other than the call for this to be happening to you.
For me, the hardest thing, because I knew we'd get through this at some point, was having to call my mother.
She called her. We were walking down the street, and I was almost losing myself. And you called her.
Yeah, and I tell her, and she's,
composed.
What do you say? She's just like, oh.
Yeah, she did move here. I know I never even say it in that way, but she did. She was here Monday. Wednesday I was diagnosed, and she was here the following Monday. So straight away.
Right.
And the worst winter ever.
Ever.
The worst winter from Florida. Some people don't know how to deal with something like this, because it is huge, and a lot of people will avoid it, and a lot of people will talk about it. And I think that, one is to kind of let people know where you are with it.
It was, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in June of 2012. You reminded me this morning when I brought in my bag of wigs and hats and scarves, and we were in a conference room pulling all these things out, and one of the wigs was on top, on a styrofoam head, and we were just laughing in the moment, and we can laugh about it today, but the idea was to really be there for each other. One of the key things for both of us is that we were always there for each other and always transparent.
Yes.
And I think that for anybody going through any kind of cancer, but in particularly breast cancer, the importance of having a support network, friends, family, family at work, makes the difference of a successful journey. And
other people, I think others should read about it too. Everyone around me read a lot of stuff, but don't bombard the person going through it with all of that information either. Sometimes just take it yourself and process it yourself. I, would have my moments where I would do heavy research for, certain weeks and certain days, and then I was on fashion blogs the rest of the time. I was no interest, don't want to see anything that has to do with treatment or breast cancer side effects, no thanks. And that was the other thing, stay fashionable, I wore wigs and hats a lot, but I never went to chemo without lipstick on. Bring someone with you who can take copious notes So one of you is listening, one of you is note-taking, or one of you is listening, one of you is asking questions. If you don't have family and friends, I think, you know, my doctors, who I forgot to mention in this, oh my God, I was texting with my surgeon. Like, you know, she would text message, but they become really connected. You can really become connected to your hospital family, the nurses, the front desk receptionist. They genuinely are warm and loving and care. And even if you don't have anyone else, I feel like they're so caring and wonderful that you can have support in them and find support in them.
Like, all of this is like a bigger story than just you having breast cancer, you blah, blah. I think it shows you, you know, how much love you have in your life, how much respect you have gotten from people. And that brings you here today. To somebody telling your story, or you getting a chance to tell it with people who love you. And then you rocked it out though too. I mean, it was such graciousness.
Be you know, because again, you're going to show up as you are, hopefully, in your best self, and sometimes your worst self too. Give yourself permission to be sad and to be mad, and then let it go. You have to let it go.